Nearly every video game has something called a HUD or heads-up display, and for the uninitiated, it's basically any sort of overlay that provides you information in-game. Mini-maps, inventories, health bars, status effects, all of these are HUD elements that are often very, very helpful for your gameplay. If I couldn't see my health bar in Elden Ring, I would cry. But they just offer so much useful information at a glance without distracting from your gameplay, for the most part. The point is, HUDs are great. I want one. For me, for real life, I want a HUD. I want a mini-map. I want a compass. Like when I walk into 7-Eleven, I want to see like new location discovered. And today we're going to see exactly what something like that would look like. Now, the term HUD isn't exclusive to games. It's actually a vehicular term referring to important information like speed being projected to the windshield of a car or a plane. The term heads up literally means your head is staying up. You're not looking down at the dash. Like you're just looking forward, so you don't have to look down to see if you're going 80 in a 55. So there already exists some HUD use in real life, but not to the extent that us gamers really need. What I want is a fully customizable HUD that can give me any information that I want at all times. Now, there are several ways we can attain this effect. Maybe with Elon Musk's monkey-killing brain chip, we can experience a Dark Souls health bar that is rapidly depleting. But a far more likely way that we'll see this is with AR glasses. VR already lets us go into other worlds, sometimes with the use of the Xbox 360 Kinect, but AR adds different elements to the world we already inhabit. But this technology is mostly relegated to Pokemon Go and Snapchat filters. AR, or augmented reality, has actually been around since 1968, although it wouldn't be refined until the 2000s. AR is a blanket term for anything where the real world is digitally augmented to add, remove, or alter elements in the environment. So in the 60s, it was pretty much just like using a projector on a piece of glass. Like, wow, it's like Ninja Blevins is really here. Oh, guys, look, he's here. We've all probably seen some form of AR, but it's mostly seen as a gimmick. AR glasses, in fact, already exist. You can literally go buy some right now, but they are really expensive and very niche. Pretty much you just like link your phone to it and like it plays stuff from your phone to the glasses. Pretty cool, but like they're $1,000 usually. This is probably the best way to achieve our desired result, and honestly the most realistic option. I mean, when Apple decides to release Apple Glass or Apple View or whatever they come up with, it's probably going to be a lot more accessible. So that's cool and all. We have our AR glasses, but how will we use them to make the HUD that we want? And what can we include to make it worth having? What features would justify us paying $1,000 for these things? To start, I think the best place is with smartwatches. Now, smartwatches were never something I could fully get behind because they're basically just a lazier phone with less functionality. In fact, you need a phone in addition to most smartwatches to get the full functionality. So like, what's the point? It's like, man, I could check the time, or I could pull out my phone and I could check the time. Like, it's the same thing. It's dumb. That's a different story. But the information that they do show is something that would be really useful on a HUD. Imagine you're driving and you get a call like it's GTA with the phone showing up in the bottom corner.
We need to talk.
I think having notifications displayed on your HUD would be really cool, and assuming there's an easy way to interact with them, like voice commands or literally just eye tracking, you could text and drive with so much better efficiency. In video calls, you could get a little display of the person you're talking to, except I don't know how your camera would really work unless it's like recorded literally in the middle of your glasses. Your angle to them would look like an anime character that just snapped, or that British guy on TikTok that really likes trains. That's something your phone can easily do, along with something like having the time, date, and weather, and even a mini map. I think those would all be really cool, but realistically, just open Google Maps. It would definitely enhance your Pokemon Go, but I'm not sure what else it would really do for you. For the most part, this is all just so you don't have to pull out your phone. You can just look and you see the notification. Definitely not worth $1,000. But there are a lot of really cool things it could do, though, that would be considerable improvements to daily life. Driving in your car, you could have your speed visible. Some sort of Tesla app could transfer all of your car's data to your face so you don't have to look away from the road. You could have a compass at the top of your vision with waypoints so you can just beeline it. You could Skyrim yourself through private property to get to where you need to go. You could have live transcription to give live subtitles. You could even have the Optifine zoom so you could stare at the strangers at Walmart with even better efficiency. In stunning HD, you could take screenshots or record your POV after something happens. Like pretty much every PC and every console has like a back recording. So like if you make a really cool play in Rocket League, you can like save the last however many minutes of gameplay. Imagine that for real life. There are so many times when like something happens that you wish you were filming. You're like, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen. Nobody's gonna believe that this happened, but you just can't, like you're not filming it, so it doesn't matter. But you just have a replay at all times, and it's just like, that was the funniest thing ever, replay, and boom. Then again, this sounds like the one episode of Black Mirror, so I don't know. Now, there are a lot of cool and stupid uses for a HUD, but what would my HUD look like? like? If I had to choose a HUD, how would it look? Well, thanks to the power of Photoshop, I can show you just that. So here we are at my daughter's wedding. I don't have a daughter, but this is the AR future, so I'll probably settle down with a gamer girl at some point, although there are 0 women in my audience. Fix that. Guys, send this video to every woman that you know. But here we are at my daughter's wedding. Let's figure out what my HUD is looking like. First of all, let's just get the time on there. Don't want to be checking my watch at all. That's disrespectful, you know? And I got to throw the mini map on there. I want to make sure I always know where I'm at. Make sure I have an exit strategy in case of attackers. And I'll put the compass up there with it. That way, if people need directions after the party, I can point them in the literal right direction with the waypoint. Also throw some gamer tags up so I don't forget anyone's names. Got to make sure I don't forget the new husband's name. And that's looking pretty good so far, but it looks like I'm getting a call. Let's just make sure I can FaceTime Lester when he hits me up for the heist, yeah? Speaking of the heist, I should probably keep track of what's in my pockets. Oh, it looks like I have a little sand from the beach, but it's still good to keep track. Wait a minute. Do you feel that? Like, the feeling that, like, someone's behind me? Let me just turn on the rear view in case... Oh, yeah, there he is. He's behind the tree. I'll have to deal with him after we're done here. But first, I gotta check my crypto. You can never be too safe. Gotta buy low, sell high, am I right? And ooh, looks like I'm getting a text. Oh, good, the pizza's here for the reception. And I gotta keep track of my music, too. I got the sicko mode 24-hour loop playing, obviously. But just in case something else comes on, I gotta know so I can skip it, right? But the ceremony here is pretty boring, so I'll just play some Pokemon Go. Might as well. But wait, you know what would spice this thing up a little bit more? Let's turn on emotes. Oh wait, what's this? My favorite streamer, Tyler Ninja Blevins, just tweeted. Oh, better pull that up too. And there we go. I think this is a pretty good HUD. Yeah, it'll probably take a lot of optimizing until it could really become feasible. There's definitely a limit to what can and cannot be on the screen at once, because eventually your life will just start looking like an Ubisoft game. But as fun as this would be, it poses a lot of ethical and moral questions. Like, should you be allowed to constantly have a video feed recording at all times for the rear view and for the screenshot? If you want that replay, should you have a constant feed always recording? And would that make it a lot more easy for someone to just like hack into your POV and just see what you're doing at all times? You're already being tracked everywhere you go. You can already get notifications when anything happens, and you just have to take your phone out to look at it. So to an extent, as crazy as all of this is, you can realistically do most of it already. But at what point is it too much? At what point is there overstimulation? I don't know, I'm just some guy on the internet. But it's all stuff to think about when we explore this next era of technology. And it's kind of scary because most of, if not all, this technology already exists. And it's relatively easy to obtain. Like, literally, if Samsung or Apple wanted to right now, they could make this a reality. But personally, I just think it would be really funny if I had a mini map when I walked into Little Caesars. There's a lot of good and bad that can come from this, but it's already on our phones, so I'm not sure how much this would really change things. Technology is both fascinating and terrifying, but I think it would be hysterical to walk around with the Skyrim HUD and music playing everywhere I go. IRL streamers would start to pop off. Like, if everyone has a constant POV of themselves recording at all times, it would make streaming so much more accessible. I think being able to screen share your literal POV would be crazy. Imagine like you're working remotely and you go like, oh, how do I do this thing? Like, you have like a project you have to work on physically. You just screen share your face. You screen share your mind. Like, that's crazy. That's cool. And it'll be really beneficial, I think. There are a lot of features like that we have on our phones, that we have on computers, that we have in games that would improve our quality of life. And even something like a rear view camera, as stupid as it sounds, it would probably prevent a lot of suspicious behavior. Even I'll be like riding a bike and I'll be like, dang, I really wish I had mirrors on this thing so I could make sure I'm not gonna like run into somebody. So yeah, I think having a HUD would be really cool. It had some problems that we need to address, but I think this is something that in like the next 5 years, we're gonna start to see. And as long as it doesn't look like this monstrosity I made, it'll probably be pretty cool. But with that being said, I hope to see you in the next one.